Order, please. Distinguished senators, resume your seats. Order, please.
We have agreed. Distinguished colleagues, just to inform you that today is Armed Forces Emblem launch, which should take place about now at the Presidential Villa. So let me quickly mention that the committee on selection met, and the new chairman of the Senate Committee on Livestock and Animal Husbandry is the distinguished Senator Shehu Boba, and the committee chairman on National Intelligence and National Security is the distinguished Senator Abdullahi Yahya, CON. Am I right? Or do I give you a bigger title? Then we have acting chairman on Committee on Air Force, the Distinguished Senator Osita Ngu. Then the committee chairman on national planning will be the Distinguished Senator Mustafa. Distinguished Senator Musa Mustafa, he will now be the new chairman on Committee on National Planning. I will give you the composition of your members with the vice tomorrow. What is
National Intelligence?
So the Committee on National Security and Intelligence is headed by Distinguished Senator Abdullahi Yahya, CON. Where you already have your vice, Distinguished Senator Olamilekon, but you know he's also chairman of appropriation. So I don't want everything to go to national security. That's why I didn't want to announce it. but since your vice is there, manage him. Then I'll give you the other vice chairman and committee members tomorrow. In the meantime, with the permission of the Senate, I'll step out briefly while the Deputy Senate President continues. May God be with us.
The leader of the Senate. Sharp. Mr. President, very distinguished colleagues, the first order of the day is a motion standing in my name on the rescission and recommittal of clauses 4 and 9 of the National Identity Management Commission Repeal and Reenactment Bill 2025 to the Committee of the Whole. Mr. President, with your permission, I wish to move the motion. You may proceed, Leader. Mr. President and very distinguished colleagues, motion on recommittal of a bill to the rescission and recommittal of clauses 4 and 9 of the National Identity Management Commission Repeal and Enactment Bill 2025. The Senate recalls that the National Identity Management Commission Repeal and Enactment Bill 2025 was passed by the Senate and the House of Representatives. Senate is informed that after critical examination of the bill, some fundamental issues emerged which require fresh legislative action in clauses 4 and 9 to allow for smooth and effective operation. Senator Olamilekon, please resume your seat.
Chairman Appropriation, resume your seat.
Repeat it, please.
Chairman Appropriation, resume your seat.
Informed that after critical examination of the bill, some fundamental issues emerged will require fresh legislative action in clauses 4 and 9 to allow for smooth and effective operation, federal character principle and regional balance, inclusiveness and Senate confirmation of appointments consistent with democratic norms and constitutional safeguards, as well as appointments of 4 executive commissioners on full-time basis, and relying on Order 1B and Order 52(6) of the Senate Standing Orders, accordingly resolves to rescind its decision on clauses 4 and 9 of the bill as passed and recommit same to the Committee of the Whole for reconsideration and passage. I so move, Mr. President.
Madam Leader, could you please second?
Distinguished Senator Pasui, Distinguished Senator Pasui, Distinguished Senator Okore.
I rise to second the motion for the rescission and recommittal of clauses 4 and 9 of the National Identity Commission Repeal and Enactment Bill 2025.
Senator Musa Mustapha.
Whip, is that what you are supposed to be doing?
I'm calling them. Wait now,
should have asked me to stop by this thing.
Once
while I was seconding the motion. Okay. Then tell me now.
Senator Anthony Yaro, resume your seat. Senator Gandina Gojo, resume your seat. Senator Lalong, resume your seat.
Those in favor of the motion say aye.
Second, second now. The chamber is ready now.
Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, I rise to second the motion for the rescission and recommittal of clauses 4 and 9 of the National Identity Management Commission Repeal and Enactment Bill 2025. I so second.
Those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Well, I think okay. Do you have anything to read, or we can? The motion itself is self-explanatory. It's self-explanatory. I don't think there's any. Yes. So for that reason, can the Senate leader move for us to go to the committee of the whole to consider the report, to look at it?
Thank you, Mr. President and distinguished colleagues. I rise to move that the Senate now goes into an executive session
to consider clauses, yes.
Further consideration of this motion. I so move.
Minority leader. Second the motion so that we can get to the committee of whole to look at the clauses. Yes, you said it.
Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, I second the motion that the Senate resolves into the committee of the whole to consider the clauses involved. I so second.
Of the motion say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Report. The National Identity Management Commission Repeal and Enactment Bill 2025. Those in favor that clause 4 on page 1, clause 9 on page 2 become part of the bill. Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor that the long title on page 1 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The leader of the Senate, can you please move that we revert to committee, to the plenary, to report progress?
Mr. President, sitting as chair, very distinguished colleagues, I stand to move that the Senate now reverts to plenary to enable the chairman to report progress. I so move.
Minority leader.
Mr. President, sitting as chair, distinguished colleagues, I second the motion that the Senate reverts to plenary to enable.
No, but this is not the procedure. I don't think that motion is necessary. What is needed here is to direct the clerk to reflect the change in our books. Yes. So the clerk of the Senate, you are directed to reflect the amendment in the bill accordingly as passed. You understand? The leader of Senate.
Oh dear. Mr. President, very distinguished colleagues, the second and the third orders of the day are House bills for concurrence as listed on the order paper. The Central Gaming Bill 2025 HB 2062 for concurrence, as well as the Chartered Institute of Capital Market Registrars Bill 2025 HB 1460 equally for concurrence. Mr. President, for interchamber reciprocity, I would like to present a single lead debate on the bills.
Leader, you may proceed.
Mr. President, very distinguished colleagues, permit me to lead the debate on these two important bills from the House of Representatives for the concurrence of the Senate. One, the Central Gaming Bill 2025 HB 2062. This bill seeks to repeal the National Lottery Act number 7 of 2005 and the National Lottery Amendment Act number 6 of 2017 and to enact the Central Gaming Bill to regulate the operation and business of all forms of online and remote gaming across the geographical boundaries of the federating units and beyond the international boundaries of Nigeria, as well as to provide for the conduct of gaming in the Federal Capital Territory and enhance revenue generation for the Federation. Two, the Chartered Institute of Capital Market Registrars Bill 2025 HB 1460. This bill seeks to establish the Chartered Institute of Capital Market Registrars in order to ensure professionalism in the system and to provide for matters related therewith. Mr. President and most respected colleagues, these bills are straightforward and have gone through the necessary legislative process in the House of Representatives. I therefore urge you all to support the second reading of these bills as we refer them to the Committee of the Whole for clause-by-clause consideration. I thank you, Mr. President and distinguished colleagues.
Thank you, Leader. I think there's not much, and I don't need for debate here because, okay, go ahead.
Mr. President, my highly respected and distinguished colleagues, I am Yahya Abdullahi representing Kebbi North. The first bill on the Central Gaming Bill in particular, I recall that I think about a month or so ago, a bill of this nature came before this Senate, and it was deferred for further legislative action. Because of the inconsistency that it has with the Supreme Court ruling that takes the matter of gaming, lottery, and other things to be issues in the exclusive in the legislative list that allows only the states and local government to handle this particular matter, and therefore it was stepped down for further reconsideration. I don't know whether this reconsideration has taken place and whether the committee that is supposed to go through the bill from this particular bill from the House has done its work. And if it has done its work, what are the results of that work? So this country that allows the judiciary to interpret the constitution and the laws that are passed by the chambers.
I'd like to say,
I just felt maybe if you have any, then leader can answer both.
Yes, I just wanted the leader to answer before I can make Osita as Nassau. I represent Imo West. Bill. It was later resolved to the extent that most of our colleagues didn't understand what they were talking about. Some people thought maybe the House of Representatives was going against the Supreme Court judgment. But we later explained everything, that they wasn't going against the Supreme Court judgment, the only lacuna digital aspect of it. So the same way they invest gaming online, e-gaming, because no state can have control of e-gaming. So I think, Mr. President, we don't need to belabor this matter. I saw President.
Of a gay being misunderstood. I think that under your leadership, this House must be seen to respect its own constitution his own decision is originating from this house. Even if you are going to start concurrence in the spirit of collaboration, with all due respect, we are copying the American model. The purpose of bicameral is that if one is sleep in one chambers, the other chamber of having copies and they have gone through it and they find that there is nothing injurious. But not for people like us who had just seen it, even before you read the headings, we are asked to discuss. So, why I say I have difficulty is that you have given a ruling just 2 weeks ago. The following week, the rule was violated. 2 days is now reduced to 2 minutes. For me, I'm a team player. But line by line, page by page, that the entire overall benefit is clear to all of us. I have nothing whatsoever
Thank you.
So that when we are done, all of us start to defend it.
Your message is gotten. Leader, it's like you want to say something to respond.
Well, Mr. President, very distinguished colleagues, in a minute, the Deputy Whip of the Senate will actually respond on behalf of us that with respect to the critical observation that the Supreme Court Shiomole, let me say that much as I will always agree with him that the business of lawmaking should be taken very seriously, I do not agree with his observation on this bill, because copies of this bill were given out to distinguished senators, including His Excellency Senator Oshiomhole, 3 weeks ago, when in the middle of our consideration, we decided to step down this bill. So as a matter of fact, I believe that the fact that we had to recirculate copies of this bill again today itself was an indulgence, because we would have expected, that once the other paper was published last night, I laid the soft copy, people could have come with copies of their own bill. But because we knew that might not happen, that's why we still ensure that the Secretariat will recirculate copies of this bill. So my point is, the single Senator Oshiomhole had 3 weeks to go through the content of this bill. It wasn't that they were just given 2 minutes ago. But
thank you.
Thank
you very much for this elaborate explanation.
Yes.
The fact remains that, like you said, this bill, I agree with you, surrounding has been resolved to get it continued. On this note, I put the question. To go. So
thank you, Mr. President. Within their domain. But Mr. President, as a lawyer, I've made my personal research, and I can tell you with legal authority that the Supreme Court judgment was confined. It has nothing to do with online gaming, which bill, seeks to address. And moreover, Mr. President, the online gaming falls within the cyberspace, has to do with the cyberspace to make laws, as this has to do with online.
Mr. President, distinguished senators, a bill for an act to repeal the National Lottery Act number 7 of 2005 and the National Lottery, the Central Gaming Bill, to regulate the operation, geographical, enhanced revenue generation for the Federation and for related matters 2025 HB 262. Second reading.
Number 6 of 2017 and to enact the Central Gaming Bill to regulate the operation and business of all forms of online and remote gaming across the Federal Capital Territory, and to second reading, professionalism in the system and for related matters 2025 HB 1460 second reading taken.
Mr. President, very distinguished colleagues, pursuant to Order 78 sub 3 of our rules, I move that the bills be now referred to the Committee of the Whole for consideration. I so move.
The Minority Leader. Report. Central Gaming Bill 2025 AB 2062. Those against say nay. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor of clauses 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. All stand pass of the bill. Say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56. Nay, the ayes have it. Those in favor that the explanatory memorandum on page 34, long title on page 1, all stand pass of the bill say aye. Those against say nay, the ayes have it. Report. Chartered Institute of Capital Markets Registrars Bill 2025 HB 1460. Those in favor that clauses 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 12, 15, 16, 17, 23, 24, and 25. All stand pass of the bill. Say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor that the explanatory memorandum on page 14 and long title.
I rise to move that the Senate reverts to plenary to enable the chairman report progress. I so move.
Minority Leader.
Mr. President, I rise to second the motion that the Senate refer back to plenary for chair to report progress.
Those in favor that that the committee of whole the Senate should revert to the plenary to report progress, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Report 5 and approved as follows. Short title clause 65. This is a true reflection of what Capital Market Registrars Bill 2025. It is a true reflection of what transpired in the Committee of the Whole. It is a true reflection. The Leader of the Senate. Leader of the Senate. Third reading.
Mr. President, very distinguished colleagues, I rise to move that the bill be now read, the bills be now read the third time. I so move.
Minority Leader.
Mr. President, very distinguished colleagues, I rise to second the motion that the two bills be now be read the third time. I so second.
Those in favor of the motion that this bill be now read third time, please say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The Clerk of the Senate.
Mr. President, distinguished senators, a bill for an act to repeal the National Lottery Act number 7 of 2005 and National Lottery Amendment Act number 6 of 2017 and to enact the Central Gaming Bill to regulate the operation and business of all forms of online and remote gaming across the geographical boundaries of the federating unit and beyond the borders of Nigeria, provide for the conduct of gaming in the Federal Capital Territory, and enhance revenue generation for the Federation region. Mr. President, the same and for related matters, 2020.
A bill for an act to repeal the National Lottery Act number 7 of 2005 and the National Lottery Amendment Act number 6 of 2017 and to enact the Central Gaming Bill to regulate the operation and business of all forms of online and remote gaming across the geographical boundaries of the Federation units and beyond the borders of Nigeria, provide for the conduct of gaming in the Federal Capital Territory and enhance revenue generation for the Federation and for related matters 2025, HB 2062, third reading, taken and passed. A bill for an act to establish the Chartered Institute of Capital Market Registrars to ensure professionalism in the system and to for related matters 2025, HB 140, third reading, taken. The Leader of the Senate. The Leader of the Senate.
Let's go.
Mr. President, distinguished colleague, the fourth order of the day is second reading of Federal Medical Center Act Amendment Bill 2025 SBs 853, 866, 909, 932, 949, and 960 as follows. Federal Medical Center, Kwaya Kusa, Borno State, Bill 2025 SB 853. Federal Medical Center, Tallahassee, Gombe State, Bill number 2025 SB 866. Federal Medical Center, Mbeke Ishieke, Ebonyi State, Bill 2025 SB 909. Federal Medical Center, Dekina, Kogi State, Bill 2025 SB 932. Federal Medical Center, Rigasa, Kaduna State, Bill 2025 SB 949. And Federal Medical Center, Kazaure, Jigawa State, Bill 2025 SB 960. Mr. President, for the purpose of second reading, these bills have been consolidated to be taken as one. You may wish to invite any of the sponsors as listed on the order paper.
Mr. President, I remain Senator Peter Onyais to second the motion seeking for the second reading of the bill on medical centers establishment bill 2025 SB 853, 866, 909, 932, 949, and 960 respectively. Mr. President, with your kind permission, may I lead the debate on the bill? What's the mistake?
Order. What is happening?
Mr. President, you are talking. I was seeking for your leave to lead the debate. With your kind permission, may I lead the debate, sir?
You are a principal officer. You will have that privilege.
Thank you, Mr.
Go
President.
ahead.
Thank you, Mr. President. Secondary healthcare and tertiary healthcare delivery in Nigeria. The gap between the primary, secondary, and specialist health affordability of Medicare, as well as inadequate medical personnel at the primary and secondary healthcare levels. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, the federal medical centers established by this bill will provide service in specialized areas like neurosurgery.
I've already debate on this. This is something that is a clerk of the Senate.
Mr. President, distinguished senators, a bill for an act to amend the Federal Medical Centers Act 2022, to amend the Federal Medical Centers Act 2022 and for other related matters, 2025 SB 853, 866, 909, 932, 949, and 960. Second reading.
A bill to amend the Federal Medical Center Act Amendment Bill 2025 SB 5 SBS, is it 853, 866, 909, 932, 949, and 960 as follows. A. Federal Medical Center Kwaya Kusa Borno State Bill 2025 SB 853. B. Federal Medical Center Talasi Gombe State Bill 2025 SB 866. C. Federal Medical Center Mbeke Isheki Ebonyi State Bill 2025 SB 909. Federal Medical Center Dekina Kogi State Bill 2025 SB 932. Federal Medical Center Regasa Kaduna State Bill 2025 SB 949. And Federal Medical Center Kazauri Jigawa State Bill 2025 SB 960. The only one that is shaky here is that of Regaza Zaria. Look at he's sitting down. Khalid. That one is shaky. Except if you agree that you are subordinate to Kanu. Thank you very much. These bills are now the bills, right? Are now read the second time. The bills are referred to the Committee on Health, Secondary and Tertiary to report back within 4 weeks. For their determination to assist in further developing, whereas we have the manpower, we have all it takes to treat our people here in our country. What we need is to have well-equipped medical centers that will take care of the health needs of our people. When this kind of centers are established, being spent in sponsors of these bills, and we hope they'll be signed to law in a way that they will help. We take our health deliveries as usual. When they get to him, he will find time, provided enough funds to fund them. He will give his assent so as to go in line with the new hope agenda of this administration.
And the last order, O2. Distinguished Senator, Mr. President, you may wish to invite Senator Yaradua Abdul Aziz Musa to move the motion for the bill to be read the second time.
Senator Yaradua, you may wish to move the motion for the bill to be read the second time.
Thank you, Mr. President, my distinguished colleagues. I am Abdulaziz Musa Yaradua, representing the good people of Katsina Central. I rise to
you may summarize it. Your debate.
Yes, sir. I rise to lead the debate on a bill for an act to establish the National Emergency Toll Service to provide colleagues. This bill was read for the first time in this chamber on Wednesday, 20th March 2024. The bill seeks to provide for a nationwide toll-free emergency number that will aid the implementation of a national system of reporting emergencies and for other related matters. An emergency telephone number is typically a 3-digit number that can be easily remembered and dialed quickly. Emergency numbers are needed in life-threatening situations. They can also be used to report emergencies of various types, such as road accidents, fire, burglary, medical emergencies, and so on. Emergency telephone lines are set up in a way that once a call is made, it must be answered by either a dedicated telephone operator, a computer-aided call handling system, or an emergency service dispatch trained to control the calls in order to provide help. Some have special training in telling people how to perform first aid, cardiopulmonary resuscitation, which may be life-saving. The direct dial emergency number system was first deployed in the United Kingdom in July 1937, using the code 999. In the United States, the first emergency call using the dedicated code 911 was made in Haleyville, Alabama in 1968. India's national emergency response number on the lines of 911 became operational in 2014. Mr. President, my distinguished, with the latest enhanced systems of mobile telephones, and there are several toll-free emergency numbers for police, ambulance, fire service, LASMA, CAI, LASEMA, women abuse domestic violence helpline, child abuse helpline, and flying doctors, amongst others. The Federal Capital Territory, Ogun State, and some other states of the Federation have different emergency numbers. The presence of multiple emergency numbers in Nigeria has been identified as an impediment to getting accelerated emergency response during emergency situations. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, the bill essentially seeks to establish an efficient and effective emergency response system. It proposes the use during the public hearing. Calls or text messages sent to the emergency numbers will land at the nearest public safety emergency public and dispatching the same to appropriate response agencies who will respond to the needs of callers. The proposed 112 toll-free national emergency line is easier to learn, remember, and dial. It will save a lot of Nigerians the stress of having to and management network service providers. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, I hereby urge you to support the second reading of this important bill. Thank you. I so move.
Senator and my distinguished colleagues, Mr. President and my distinguished colleagues, you know, or we all know, that this bill that is to establish a nationwide toll-free emergency number for reporting of emergency throughout the Federation is and the leadership to facilitate so that this bill will be finally passed or signed into law by Mr. President and implemented, because one of the impediments that or challenges we are having during this
heightened insecurity is lack of proper communication or effective communication to the various affected agencies. If we do this, I think we are enhancing and we are also contributing to solving the security challenges and other related criminalities or emergencies that we have of this very, very important.
Distinguished senators, my name is Mohamed Tahir Munguno. I represent Borno North Senatorial District, and giving muscular expression to this motion against the backdrop of the avalanche of security challenges that we are having across the nooks and crannies of the country, and the fact that our security community are always emphasizing or calling upon the general public to report what they see. And against this background, there is a need for government to create an avenue where the public can report the country. Thank you.
Those in favor that this bill be read second time, please say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The clerk of the Senate.
Mr. President, distinguished senators, a bill for an act to establish the National Emergency Toll Services to provide uniform, accessible, and rapid emergency response through a dedicated 3-digital toll-free number nationwide, to empower the Nigerian Communication Commission (NCC) as the regulator, and for related matters 2025 SB 402. Second reading.
A bill for an taken. The bill referred to the Committee on Communications to report back within 4 weeks. Let me commend Senator Yaradol arrangement is implemented. I think at this point, the Senate leader should move for adjournment.
Mr. President, distinguished colleague, having concluded today's proceeding on the other paper, I hereby move that the Senate do adjourn till Wednesday.
For the letter second, let me draw the attention of the Secretariat to a mistake. Madam Leader, can you second?
Mr. President, tomorrow for further consideration of legislative matters and plenary. I so second.
Those in favor?